So who's not experienced this before? Anybody? You've not? Okay, thank you for volunteering. This one's not painful. Don't
She's
worry.
a consultant. Use Dolores, but Dolores will pop up. She knows that.
Okay. Dolores, where you at? Okay. Dolores, is this hot or cold? Oh, it's cold. Can you just hold out your hand for me? Okay. And should ice, Dolores, melt faster in a warm hand or a cold plate? A warm hand. So hold out your warm hand for me if you would. And take an ice cube. We're just going to stick it right there. I'm going to give it a head start. And then we're going to take another one and stick it on this cold plate. Okay? NASA wanted to find a way to heat astronauts in extreme cold and to cool them in extreme heat. And they wanted to be able to do it without power. And this ceramic technology came about because it's a vibrational technology. Ooh, wow. Wow. A lot of wows going on here today, yeah? So some pretty cool stuff there. Now, if you look at that, part of you goes like, well, whoop-de-doo. You know, you can melt ice faster. Who cares, right? But this technology is having an effect on what substance? Water. And what are we mostly made of?
Water.
Therefore, is it possible that this technology may have some sort of impact on us? Possible. Yes. Okay. Is that kind of cool? Yeah. Oh, that's your water, not Okay, go ahead and put that in there. All right, just a few drops. All right. So, what Niken did is they found a way to take this ceramic and to weave it into cloth. So we have ankle wraps and knee wraps and back wraps and shoulder wraps and wrist wraps and wraps. I mean, we've even had body wraps before with this stuff. Who loves their far infrared technologies? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh my gosh, just love this stuff. What types of things have you noticed with this special cloth?
Decreased swelling.
Okay, differences in swelling. Anybody else? Yes.
Avoids any blisters or redness with burns.
Burns, huge. Sunburns, burns, major burns. Like
Keep it in the
extra
kitchen.
burns.
Keep it in the kitchen. And when you get burned, you immediately put your hand in it. Takes the burn away. And I was a burn nurse for 4 years. I appreciate that.
Huge. So I had a brother-in-law who came to live with us 3 months after we got married. And he was having some challenge at home. Just adjusting with a few things. Came down, got a job, did some landscaping. And the very first day, what did he do? Took his shirt off all day long.
No sun.
So that evening, he didn't feel so good. And he said, "What can you do to help?" And I said, "Well, here." And we had at that point some far infrared long johns. Isn't that what you want to do? Is put on a pair of long johns when you're burned, right?
Yeah.
Well, we had to put them on, and everything from that collar line down turned to a nice golden tan. Everything above that remained very red, swollen, blisters, nasty, peeling, painful. All in favor of not having to experience that? Say aye.
Aye.
So we currently have, not here, a blanket made of this, okay? And the blanket made of this, combined with a pillow with magnetics, combined with magnets in a topper. And you're just going to have to trust me. You know, look at this thing. The topper's about this big. Twin, queen, king. We have a blanket with the stuff on it, and we have a pillow with it, and it's like the most ultimate amazing thing you could ever do for your health, ever. Okay? So William Dement, father of sleep, Stanford University, decades of research. And after researching sleep over and over, here's a sample of the comforter. Thank you very much. You can go ahead and pass this around, and you want to get the topper and the pillow and this. It's combined, it makes up a sleep system, and I'm encouraging people to add grounding technology with it now, because it's just a very inexpensive addition and huge benefits. We'll talk about this later. But this combination, and if you do, by the way, the person who invited you here, you can get products through them. You can even get a link so you can go online and shop. But talk to them before you purchase. I just had someone that got $3,300 worth of stuff, and if they just asked a few questions, we could have gotten that same amount of stuff for $2,600 for them. Okay? So that we can give you recommendations, like there's a sleep pack, where if you get them together, you can save, and so forth. So I just Make sure that you talk to the person who is your consultant to get recommendations on things for your scenario. Okay, so where was that? William Dement, father of sleep. His studies came up saying that how many of you have heard people say that if you eat right and exercise, you'll be healthy? You heard that?
Yep.
Okay. How many know people who've tried to eat right and exercise and they still have challenges?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the most important thing of health? I get a lot of people that'll ask me, what one thing should I do or get? And I say, get a wellness home. And they look at me like, no. A wellness home, by the way, is a combination of Niken's technologies, getting our sleep, getting our water technologies, getting on our nutritional components, getting the energy products, to use by day and so forth. Get a wellness home. That's the best thing you could do. But someone say, well, I can't get a whole wellness home. And just what one thing. And if I had to narrow it down to one thing, I would tell you, well, if you spend a day in Los Angeles breathing bad air, does it ruin your health immediately or more over time?
Over time.
If you drink city water with its herbicides, pesticides, nitrates, and chlorine, and all that type of stuff, but you drink it, does it ruin your health immediately or more over time?
Over time.
Over time. You ate at McDonald's today, does it ruin your health immediately or more over time?
Over time.
Over time, okay. If you missed your exercise program today, does it ruin your health immediately or over time?
Over time.
But if you did not sleep last night, would you notice the results immediately?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's your body's clue. And I want you to clue into that really, really, really importantly. The number one thing you can do for health, William Dement said that the more important than the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food that you eat, the single most important determinant for your longevity and well-being, your body's ability to repair, detoxify, all that type of stuff, is not the quantity, but the quality of your
Sleep.
Sleep.
Raise your hand if you know someone that has an autoimmune condition. Just raise your hand. Okay, keep it up. Raise your hand if it's also a coincidence that person seems to have a sleep problem. Interesting. I used to wonder if that was a coincidence. I just kind of guessed at this my first year or two. And then I started asking everywhere I went. And even people who say, I don't have a sleep problem, if you start asking them, you find out that they do. I told my family I didn't have a sleep problem. I would sleep 9, 10, 11 hours a night after that mosquito bit me. Sometimes 13 hours in a day, or you add the nap to it. And I was still always what?
Tired.
But I didn't have a sleep problem because I could sleep anytime, anywhere. No problem sleeping, right?
Sleeping too much.
The
Well,
quality.
so people said that, you're sleeping too much. So I tried
Quality.
sleeping 6 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Guess what that did?
Worse.
I was toast. Sick almost immediately. Okay? So my body just wasn't getting into the deep stages of sleep, the REM and alpha stages of sleep, where the body goes through repair and maintenance. So you may not know that you have a sleep disorder, but the studies show that 2/3 of Americans have chronic sleep disorders. What are some of the common sleep problems? Okay, drowsy. What? Can't fall asleep. They lay awake for hours trying to get to sleep. What else?
Can't
Wake up
stay
early
asleep.
in the morning.
They wake up early and can't go back to sleep. What
Sleep
else?
apnea.
Breathing problems at night. Yes. What else?
In between, like you sleep, but then it's not good, so you wake up again, and then it will be hard to go back.
Okay. Wake up 1 o'clock, can't go back to sleep. Wake up 3 o'clock, can't go back to sleep. Wake up 5 o'clock, can't. Yeah. What else?
Sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea. We talked about that. The breathing problems. How about anybody have a leg that just goes crazy at night?
Restless
Twitch?
leg.
Okay. Yeah.
Leg, yep.
Okay. What else? How about a hip that hurts, a
Oh,
knee
yeah.
that hurts, a shoulder that hurts? Always rolling around trying to run away from the pain. Okay. What about having to get up and go to the bathroom? Is that a sleep problem?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think so, but they don't clue into that as being a challenge. But does that keep you from sleeping?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. How about going to sleep? Whoops, too hot, leg out. Going to sleep. Whoops, too cold, leg in. Arm out, arm in. Covers off, covers on. With me now. Leg in, arm out. Anybody ever do this?
Yes.
Is that deep quality regenerative sleep?
No.
So 5 main levels of sleep. The first 3 you're unconscious. The level 4 and 5 stages when your body goes through repair and maintenance. Going to sleep. Whoops, too hot. Wake up. Going to sleep. Whoops, too cold. Wake up. Going to sleep. Whoops, got to go to the bathroom. Wake up. Going to sleep. Whoops. You follow what's going on here?
Yeah.
Never going to sleep.
Okay?
You never get
You're
to
not getting into and going
the
through
deep,
those
right.
cycles where the body actually goes through repair, maintenance, detoxification, and then pretty soon they've got arthritis, they've got lupus, they've got Crohn's, they've got blah 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 blah. How important is sleep?
Very
Critical.
Huge. Okay? Absolutely huge. Now my mother went from being the most get her done, take care of everything, conquer the world, to sweeping the kitchen floor to two major endeavors to accomplish. Could no longer open the jar on a lid. She hurt. She spent hours trying to stretch out. She had joints that didn't want to move anymore. She was nigh onto a wheelchair with the conditions that she had. She would wake up, cook breakfast, go back to bed, cook lunch, go back to bed, have 2 to 3 hours of functioning in the afternoon, and that was life. And they tried giving her painkillers and sleeping pills and antidepressants, and she said, "I'm not depressed, it just hurts." Major anti-inflammatories, the kind that, you know someone on prednisone? What's it do to you? Blow you up like a blimp. What else?
Disturbs your sleep.
Disturbs your sleep. What else?
Probably affects your organs.
Yeah, your liver and kidneys, just bad. I mean, it's bad news. Okay. My mom got into a wellness home, and a major component of that being the sleep system. And within 2 months, well, first month she thought she had wasted her money. A little frustrated. Okay. Second month, she had a lot more good days than bad days. Didn't know if it was a coincidence or not. By third month, she said, "I'm definitely on an uphill slope right now. This is good news." By the 6th month, she was off of 10 years worth of medication. Blood work a year later showed that the rheumatoid factor didn't even show up in her bloodstream. Gone. Okay. And she went from being majorly in trouble to conquering the world again, and can do what a lot of 40-year-olds can't do. Just really, really cool stuff. So with that, I'm going to spritz up here. We're going to shift gears. Who here loves water? Say aye.
Aye.
Who here has ever not loved water? Okay. Why? Is hydration important?
Yes.
What happens when we're dehydrated?
Lots of things that, you dry it out, your body stops working right.
You can't hit the high notes, can you?
No.
All right. In life, you can't hit the high notes. Does it affect your brain functioning?
Yeah.
1% dehydration affects your brain functioning, lowers it by as much as 10%. Does it affect your immune system?
Yes.
Huge. Does it affect your breathing?
Yeah.
Yes.
The whole oxygen exchange, everything. Hydration, huge. I mean,
Your
big-
energy.
energy levels, huge with hydration. Can it affect headaches?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, water's everything. We're mostly made of what?
Water.
Water. So, huge things. What are some of the challenges with our water these days?
You can't tell if it's clean.
Can't tell if it's clean.
The
Well,
Mine tastes like chlorine.
yours tastes like chlorine. Yeah. Virtually all municipal water in the U.S. has chlorine in it. Now, why do we put chlorine into the water?
Trying.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Good.
I
You got to
hear
kill the
good, I hear
bugs.
bad, I'm hearing. Okay, well,
I'm not sure.
anybody want giardia and constant diarrhea?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm just saying. All right? So probably a good thing to have the chlorine in there because it is a poison that kills all the living stuff in the water.
Which means it kills all the living stuff in water.
And kills
Yeah,
us.
so
Well,
It
you
kills
know,
wait a
us.
minute.
Kills
What are
us
we?
too.
We are living. We're living stuff, right? So look at the studies. If you're drinking chlorinated water, 93% more likely to get cancer than those who drink non-chlorinated water. All in favor of drinking non-chlorinated water instead? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay. How many of you have ever gone to drink water and it just tasted bitter, or it tasted something was weird and wrong, and so you have to add stuff to it? Okay, and to the point where we add lots of stuff and it's no longer water anymore.
And artificial sweeteners.
or the little
Yeah.
crystal light sugars.
Yeah, those diet things, folks.
Die.
They are a recipe for stroke and heart disease. The research is out. You can read it. It's just huge. Bad news. So water is important, but does coffee hydrate you?
No.
No.
No. It dehydrates the body. All right? Do your sodas hydrate you?
No.
No. They dehydrate your body. Okay? So what about the opportunity to bottled water? I mean, bottled water is good for you, right?
No.
Probably not.
You ever lugged one of those big cases out of the store? Anybody enjoy doing that?
No.
Okay. We don't. The hassle of it is a hassle. But what's wrong with the plastic?
We see we're ingesting it.
We're ingesting all that stuff, and it's got a myriad of diseases linked with it. Okay. And the water itself may or may not be clean.
Yeah.
And those that are cleaned are often distilled or reverse osmosis, which leaches everything out. So now this is a hungry water. It's without minerals. And so when it comes into your body, it leaches minerals out of your own body.
When you pee them out.
Okay? So there are some waters that will actually dehydrate you. Water that dehydrates you. Interesting concept.
Just what I wanted.
That was a
So,
thing.
who here has never had Niken's magical Pymag water sprayed upon them? Just raise your hand if you haven't had the spray test.
Can I get a spray?
So what we're going to do here is I just want to show you back behind this, it's right here on this poster. We have Niken's water pack, and this is a deal, folks. You get their waterfall, which is right there, and you get replacement filters, and you get their water bottle. Can I have a water bottle, please? Held up, up, right here. This is, I love this because it has the filter built in right there, and the rocks inside, and the magnets in here, and it takes any nasty drinking fountain and turns it into awesome, awesome drinkable water. Okay? I love this for home. Here we have the filter that's back there that gets rid of all the bad stuff. All in favor of getting rid of the bad stuff, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then it has the rocks in the bottom to help alkalize your water. Again, alkaline being healthier, good stuff. Has magnets to help cluster the water. Has that black plate kind of in the filter to help put the water back to its natural vibrational frequency. And it's that ceramic material, yeah. So who's not experienced this?
John at the
So
back.
what I'd like you to do is open and shut both hands. Open and shut both hands. Okay? So pick one hand that might be slightly stiff or sore. One hand. And only do this, please, if you haven't done it before, because we just got to get through. Go ahead, turn over. Go, turn over. Now I want you to count out loud. Count to 3, please.
1, 2, 3.
And now say abracadabra. Okay. Now open and shut both hands slowly. Which hand's the stiffest now?
This one now.
Okay, who's ready? If you did it. Okay. Count to 3 and say abracadabra. And then go ahead with both hands at the same time. Okay. So I love this little test because as a concert pianist, well, there's arthritis in our family, and I don't think I have that, but I do know that when I spray this in my hands, and then I go like this hand disappears. It's just like not even there, all right? And the other one I can still feel, all right? Which one?
This one.
Okay, open up, and turn over, and who's next?
Oh. Look at that. Smells good too.
Which one?
We're coming.
It smells like peppermint.
Okay, and turn it over.
That's done.
I'm like, can I lick it? How long
It does like it
What will happen?
Okay.
It's just water. Just straight water. There's no peppermint in there.
No, I have to confess, I had used that bottle before and had to have peppermint in it, and I tried to wash it out.
It does smell like
It's not doing anything.
Okay, so those of you that have been sprayed, who knows the difference? Raise your hand. Okay, what do you notice, real quick?
More flexible, loose.
Yeah.
Okay, flexible, loose, all that good stuff. The shower system right here, you see one that hooks onto the side of your shower wall. They also have a handheld one that has the hose and you can spray it all over you and so forth. You can choose between those when getting the water pack, or you can buy any of those things individually. Who loves their Nikan Pi Mag water? And
Yay.
yeah,
Yes.
why do you love it? Holler out. Yes.
My skin doesn't turn ashy.
Awesome.
It's very refreshing.
Awesome. Like you're drinking or showering?
Drinking it, well, it
Okay.
really is.
Softens my skin and hair.
Soft skin and hair. So folks, a lot of people get out of the shower and have to put lotion all over because they're
Yeah.
so dry because of all the chemicals
Yeah.
in the water. Get rid of the chemicals and good things happen. Yes.
So a quick story. My portion of my filter holder went bad, and Barb ordered me another one. But when it came to me, I was like really too busy, and I just never put it together for like a couple of months. It just sat on the counter because I was just too busy. In the meantime, I developed horrific GERD. I mean, like I had never had in my life. Just
You guys know what GERD is?
No.
Okay. You ever heard someone say they have heartburn?
Yes.
Multiply it by 20 and add about $9 worth of medication every day.
To the point where I was coughing, and I sometimes couldn't teach my classes. So anyway, so I see the doctor who says you need to have this procedure, this blood work, whatever. Well, I was too busy to have the procedure. But in the meantime, I put together my water filter again, and I just told Barb, I said, I've never gone for my even my blood test to see if I had H. pylori because I don't have any more symptoms anymore. Drinking the water. I have it first thing in the morning. I'm a terrible water drinker though. I mean, I'll go all day and just have a little bit, but even my little bit has made a difference.
Folks, if you have GERDs and you get put on the medication, how frequently does the disease go away?
It
Never
doesn't.
goes
You are
away.
not supposed to be on that longer than 3 months. People are on it for years. It will give you blood cancer.
There's just, when you can use something natural to help your body help itself, is it a good thing? Say aye.
Aye.
My mom shared this with a guy at church. He wrapped his arms around her and said, "Thank you for saving my life. You may be a messenger to help save someone's life with this stuff." It just sank into her heart the value of what we have our hands on. She started telling people who told people who told people who told people. The best form of advertisement is what?
Word of mouth.
Word of
Mouth.
mouth.
Yeah.
You share it, they get a result, they tell someone. Share it, they get a result, tell someone. And ended up with business in 46 states and 8 different countries. Okay? Now, for a farmer, what is income like for a farmer?
Sporadic.
Sporadic. They had income once a year if the price of wheat was good. Otherwise, it had to be stored for the next year or the next year until it could go. So we're talking sporadic, very sporadic. Okay, so and it was based upon market trends, all that type of stuff. They never knew it was going to happen. What if you had an income that came every day from people in 46 states and 8 different countries?
Awesome.
Would that be a good thing?
Yeah.
Would that be a diversification? Okay.
Definitely.
I love the fact that Nikan allows people to be able to diversify. So here's how this works. But we're going to talk about a few more products, but I just want to take a break from that for just a minute. You can become a customer and just order what you want to get. And one of the coolest things, you're going to love our nutritionals, and many people decide to get those, and they want to get them on a regular basis. Okay? And if you get on the auto ship program, you can save 25%. Who wants to save 25%? Say aye. You
Aye.
can become a customer, or you can become a repeat customer, saving 25%. Raise your hand if you have thought of someone else that might benefit from our products. As you've heard these crazy stories today, have you figured out, wow, I wonder if this would help my aunt or my cousin or my uncle or my son or my daughter's teacher or what? Raise your hand if you thought of someone. Okay? That is a natural response. In fact, most people who get involved with us doing this as a business, their first instinct isn't, oh, how can I make a bunch of money? Their first instinct was, wow, Bill was in a car accident 5 years ago. I wonder if I could help him. And consequently, we draw a really amazing, service-oriented, good people to this company. But as a side effect, the company will send you a thank you note. And that is in the form of a check. And the cool part about this is you can diversify your income in many, many ways. How many of you know people that are nervous about being able to retire? Say aye.
Aye.
How do you know people that got to age 55, 60, and their boss said, you need to go work somewhere else? How do you know people who in the last 10 years lost a house? How do you know people who are in a job, but they find that it's not quite enough and they have to get another job? How many know people that can't get a full-time job and have to work 2 or 3 part-time jobs? How many know people that, as boomers, who they get to a point where the corporations won't hire them anymore, they still need money, they still have gas in their tank, so to speak, and they want to do something, but they don't want to have to be stuck to a 9 to 5. Or they don't want to get a franchise and have to open up the door at 6:30 every morning to start eating up the buns. Okay? They would like, would you agree that many people these days would like something that is flexible? All in favor say aye?
Aye.
How would you like having your boss tell you what you're worth? Wouldn't it be neat to have something where you could actually earn whatever you wanted to earn? You wanted to go out and do a whole bunch, you could do a whole bunch, and you could raise your check the next month. You don't have to wait for somebody else to give you the stamp of approval. Would that be a good thing?
Yes.
So this is how Niken works. Within our family, there's been over 11, between parents and in-laws, and so over 11 million in take-home with this. And I don't tell you that to impress you, but to impress upon you that this is very real. You can do a little with it, or you can do a lot. Okay? So let's shift gears, come back here. I don't see the base thing that we have a little, here, this is green, this is what I need. We have a little green jar, all right? And it's filled with green stuff. It's called jade greenzymes. All right, I just want you to remember green, because you ask the person who brought you here for the green stuff and they'll know what it is, okay? So the green stuff is called jade greenzymes, and if there was one thing I could have everybody on the planet taking, it would be jade greenzymes as a base foundational nutritional, because it has all your trace minerals, it has all your amino acids, it is loaded with enzymes, it is just, it helps things to help with inflammation, all that type of stuff. The jade greenzymes, it's green. Okay, the jade greenzymes, who loves their jade greenzymes?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Just holler out some of the things.
Energy.
Energy.
Yeah.
Many people find that this, I'm not talking a caffeine energy.
No.
I'm not talking of a stimulant. I'm talking a mental, body working, natural energy. What else?
Decreases swelling.
Many people finding that that very thing happens in a myriad of ways. What else?
Allergies.
Discomfort because of decrease of swelling and inflammation, all those types of things. What else? Many people combine this with a necklace and Pymag water and their airborne allergies. Kaput. Gone.
They notice that their blood pressure is running better.
They notice that
Mine's down 15 points.
15 points. That's fantastic. So we have a combination of things that I typically use for that, but this is a base for that. Many of them notice that they have changes going on there.
Blood sugars.
Blood sugar levels changing, huge thing. So this is huge for digestion. This is huge for your hair, your nails. I had a gal that she had an autoimmune condition and she had not had hair or nail growth in 5 years.
Oh, wow.
She got on here and she had hair growth and nail growth.
Right.
Okay, your skin and its health and well-being. This stuff is just phenomenal. This will make your body wag its tail. Okay? Now, here's the gig. Here's the gig. Some people like this, and some people
Don't.
It's green. It's lawnmower juice. All right? Grow up. Not everything needs a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. All right? I will tell you that I don't like, but my body craves this. I don't know how to explain it anymore. I walked by the cupboard with this, and I gotta get some. I had to get some. So this is best taken anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes before each of your meals. You should have it 3 times a day. If you forget, just take it whenever. It's also really good to be taking it when you start to feel a little out of it. Okay? Your body's a little sore, a little stiff, you're a little fatigued, you feel like you got a cold or a flu coming on, start downing 6 to 8 of these a day. Okay? And just drink. This is awesome stuff. So if you're looking for a great place to start with a nutritional, it is not expensive, it's not going to break the bank. This stuff is just absolutely awesome. You're going to love it, and you're going to want to have everything else that we have. Okay? We have meal replacements. Right now there's a buy 2 get 1 free, I think is what the deal is. Yesterday there was a buy 2 get 1 free. They've got a chocolate, a vanilla. Some people use it as a meal replacement. Other people use it to make their brain work. Other people use it to help out with blood sugar stuff. Other people use it to change their digestion. Other people use it to gain weight. Other people, I have people that have lost 100 pounds using this. Other people use it to get their gut working right. Other people use it for detoxification. Other people use it because it's all natural. Okay, massive amount of organic ingredients in here. Has medium chain triglycerides to help the blood-brain barrier. This is just phenomenal stuff. We could have a business right here, right? Just this. Could we not?
Yes.
Yeah, you could have a whole business just with this. But guess what? We've got a lot of other stuff that helps support the body in a lot of other areas. We have one of the most amazing business things planned out there on the planet. If you were to just develop this product, how much time do you think that would take? How much time would it take to develop a product like this? To research all this stuff?
Years.
Okay. How much time would it find to get all the sourcing for all the individual ingredients in it?
Years.
Okay, natural. How much money would it take to build the facility, to package, and to produce this? How much?
Millions.
How much you're going to need to be able to store it, and then how many people you have to hire to ship the stuff out, and then how many you're going to hire to pay all your salespeople? You'd have to have what?
Millions.
You'd have to have millions of dollars. Get this to go to North America. You sign up for $99, and you don't have to have the factory. Nikan takes care of that. You don't have to have the accountants. Nikan takes care of that. You don't have to have. You get the idea here? This is the simplest way to have a business. So what Nikan provides is just absolutely amazing. So we have piles of stuff, but I'm not. Talk to the person who brought you, because if you've got major stomach problems, or you've got major gas problems, or you've got major whatever your challenges are, talk to the person who brought you. But I do want to end up with two things. Nikan for years has had a phenomenal bone health product technology. Okay, unbelievable. Okay, unbelievable because the typical bone health technologies out there, Fosamax, Boniva, Actimel, Reclass, Forteo, the drugs do what?
Make you sicker?
They what?
Build up.
They can build up. Well, what are some of the things? What are the side effects? Anybody know the side effects of those?
They make your jaw decay and fall.
Make your jaw decay and fall. Literally, dentists not wanting to work on patients because they've literally worked on a tooth and had the whole top of their jaw
Fall out.
come out. Okay, and then big challenges. Esophageal cancer. That doesn't sound like fun. No. And I can go on and on and on, but there's the amount of information out about the traditional medicines for osteoporosis, osteopenia, arthritis. Most people would rather not be on that stuff, right?
Right.
Okay. But what's the alternative?
Feeling
Not cool.
bad.
Some people ending their own lives, committing suicide because they hurt so much.
My dad did that.
Yeah. Not cool stuff. So there's a give and take. Well, what if there was something all natural, clinically proven that could make a difference? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We had an amazing product. Okay, had some great studies on it. Had studies on markers that track the cells that would build new bone, and markers that would track the cells who got rid of old bone. Well, our new bone health technology, it's called Bone Kenzen BDZ and our Kenzen Calcium. All right, has like 5 times the amount of research that our previous stuff did. If you get in and look at what's there, all the clinical research, it is unbelievable. Clinical research specifically on bone density. We did not have that before. We know that we've had results, but it has clinical research on bone density. This new one has clinical research on cartilage. It has clinical. How about this? How many of you have heard that calcium is a big part of bone health? Right? So people taking calcium supplements, right? How many have heard that that's not so good?
Yeah.
Why is that? I mean, we need calcium for our bones, but why is that not so good?
Because you can freeze up. You have too much.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get where it needs to go, then it becomes a problem. And the problem areas are the calcium landing in the walls of your arteries, causing hardening of the arteries, making them stiff. It changes the distensibility, the flexibility of your arteries. And then people more prone to having a what?
Heart attack.
All right, we don't want that. Kidney stones, all this type of stuff. So calcium is not solving the problem, but we have a calcium, when provided with a taxicab, the Bone BDZ, is clinically shown now to help with our artery distensibility, getting the calcium out of those arteries. Anybody want to avoid the $1 million heart attack?
Yeah.
Big stuff. So it also has stuff on the markers, all those types of things. So take a real good look. If you have joints that hurt, if you're worried about bone health in terms of in virtually any aspect, take a look at that product in a big way. Okay. Last but not least, grounding. Who here has heard of grounding before?
Woohoo!
Who here kind of has heard about grounding, but not really sure? It's like, what's grounding?
Electric balance.
Yeah, this is
That
grounding thing. I don't know. Grounded. Some people say, get grounded. I'm like, all right, grounded. I did a conference call that said, so you've been grounded, and your kids should be too. So, what is grounding? You've heard of people that they call tree huggers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them saying if you hug a tree, you feel better?
Yeah.
You heard of people that take their shoes off and go walk in the grass? And they tell you should walk in the grass without your shoes on for like a half hour every day? And you think, these people are just out there. Weird, right?
Hippies.
I'm with you. So I heard about it roughly 15 years ago. Did a bunch of research. There wasn't a lot of research to grab. And I just kind of put it in the shelf and didn't look anymore. Niken came out with like one of the world's best grounding technologies because of how they've been able to impregnate silver in here. And we're getting huge results. I'll let some of you share your stories in a minute, but I need to give you the background. A guy named Clint Aubert. Clint Aubert installed cable, like television cable lines, up in the up in your trees, and buried in the ground. And he wanted to make sure always that this cable line was grounded to help clear up the signal and to help make sure if a lightning bolt hit, it didn't go in and blow up all of your appliances. Okay. So in his mind, in his data repertoire, he always had to think about grounding. It was a big part of his work. He made tons and tons of money, sold his business, and 3 years later, we're still trying to figure out what he's going to do with the rest of his life. He was on a park bench, okay? And he saw a tourist bus park, and he said they must have had a sale at an outlet somewhere for white Nike tennis shoes, because all these little white shoes started prancing by. And he was just kind of chuckling at it, you know, but everybody buy the same thing, so forth. And he got, man, and rubber shoes, and they went, wait a minute. What if people need to be electrically grounded? Because we're electrical, chemical, energy beings. And so it just popped in his head, and he was like, what if? So he goes home, and he gets this metal duct tape, and he straps it to his sheets. And from that end, he hooks a wire to that duct tape, and he takes that out his window and takes it out into the garden and puts a rod in the ground, and he grounds himself that night. I'm like, where do people come up with this stuff?
Science class.
He slept really well. And then he went, wait a minute. Is it just in my head? Other people? So he tried it on other people. Other people got results. He went to universities. Some of them laughed him off the campus. Others said, okay, we'll do a little study. And the results got better, and they got better. And then a scientist, cardiologist named Stephen Sinatra got a hold of the material. And he said, wow, if this is helping with pain, you need to study inflammation. And so all of these studies came out of it. Some 21 studies published at the National Institute of Health, ranging from serotonin levels and stress and sleep and wound healing and inflammation and all this circulation, all this stuff. Studies about grounding came out. And the results have been pretty crazy. Now, Niken doesn't make any medical claims with any of our products or this one. But if you coincidentally have sat on this, by the way, you can sit on it with your clothes, best if they're cotton and not polyester, and you will reduce things by about tenfold as far as the electrical disturbances in your body. If you take your clothes off, that's always fun, right? Get skin to skin on this stuff. Then you take the electrical disturbance, so to speak, you can measure it in voltage meters, virtually down to zero. So a lot of people use this when they sleep and have part of their skin touching it. I like to take this end that snaps on right here, and I like to take that and tuck it down at the end of my bed where all the sheets tuck in, so that this doesn't get disturbed too much. I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to have to fix things every night, you know, so I just put it there, and it's maybe I have to worry about it once every week or two, okay? But it's just there. That's another thing I love about these products. Typically, if you start on a health regime, how many of you started on gotten a trainer and had to spend an hour and a half at the gym every day or something like that? Who's got the time? Who's got the time? All right, or totally change how you eat, or all these things. Most people are not willing to make the changes. But with Nikan, all I do is I cut these down and I stick them in my shoes once. Never have to think about it again. Okay? I set the bed up once. You have to remember to go to bed every night? No, I just do it. All right? I put this down where I sit on my computer, and I put one in my bed, and it's just there. All right? I'm kind of dumb and lazy. I just like things to be simple. Well, Nikan has made health simple in an absolutely amazing way. Who here loves the grounding pad? Okay, why? Holler out.
Better sleep.
People having dreams, people conking out who couldn't go to sleep, and then it's just awesome. Yes. What else?
Less tense.
Less tense. What do you mean?
First time I had it, it just felt like I was relieved or something. I can't explain it.
It was very
great,
real,
though.
very real. You lay on that thing for like 10 minutes and just like melt stuff away. Yes.
So I have a question. So we're wearing the inserts all day
Because you're supposed to, right?
yeah, but why doesn't it ground you the same way?
Okay. This is a really big question because people in Nikan fell in love with magnets, and we think magnets are going to fix everything, right? They don't. Right? So are magnetics and earth energy?
Yes.
They are. Okay. But is this the only earth energy?
No.
Interesting thought. Okay. Is this the only earth energy? No. So magnetics around Earth, we have Earth and a big magnetic field around that, and you got the sun's rays coming in. A lot of those are really harmful, right? Mm-hmm. And the magnetic field actually protects you from a lot of solar radiation. That interaction of those coming into contact creates this little big electrical vortex, so to speak, and a polarization. All the positive particles are above Earth, and all the negative particles are sent
Down into it.
into Earth. It's called lightning. Okay? Any given minute of the day, there's over 1,300 lightning bolts that strike planet Earth, just shoving these electrons into the Earth. So we have the Earth is what charge?
Negative.
Negatively charged, and everything up above is
Positively charged.
Okay? And that is not magnets. That's a different thing. Okay? So, who here has heard of I'm not finding the word, just a minute. We take antioxidants because of free radicals. Who here has heard of free radicals? Free radicals are harmful, degenerative, rip you apart, tear into you, inflammation causing, degenerative molecules that are positively charged. They're simply hungry for
A negative charge to bond.
They want to bond. We all want to bond. Free radicals want to bond too. And so we take our antioxidants and we take all these things to try to do that, but they have to go through a digestive process, this really inefficient thing that doesn't necessarily always deliver and satisfy these free radicals. Well, what if we just simply hooked ourselves up to an infinite supply of electrons from Mother Earth? Would that be a cool thing?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So this literally is connected to Earth. This wire goes in, and you see this outlet, and there's 3 prongs in it. There's 2 that are vertical, which supply what? Electricity. But the little round one on the bottom, what is it? It is
Ground.
Ground. It's connected to the dirt outside. So if you do this, you can go roll and play in the mud without actually getting dirty. You understand what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. How much should we be grounded?
All the time.
As much as possible.
As possible. As many hours of your day as possible, do it. Okay? And literally changes in, you have an injury, you put it directly over that injury as much as possible. Okay? Because, the clinicals on it are unbelievable. And I love this thing. It's like $130. It's cheap. It's inexpensive. And the crazy thing is this is weird. You explain it doesn't sound weird, but when you really think, well, go out and hug a tree, go walk in the grass, you'll feel better, Like, what are you talking about? This is weird stuff, but people have heard of go out and walk in the grass. Why don't people do it?
Because they're afraid of germs.
They're afraid of germs. They're afraid of all the sprays that are on it. They're afraid of the ticks and the diseases that come, and they're afraid of all that, right?
Yep.
And in my area, they're afraid of the snow half the year. They don't want to freeze their feet off, right? Hey, who's got that happen? You want to have some fun? Invite people over to your house for a grounding party.
Oh yeah.
Pop some popcorn, pull up the movie on Netflix called The Grounded, okay? Take somebody who's hurting, lay them down on the floor on one of these things, put a wrap around some people's legs, etc. Do the popcorn thing, and anyway, you're going to sell piles of it. This is an easy door opener into the weekend, okay? So to wrap things up, first off, thank you.
Brody,
Yes.
also the other advantage is it takes excess voltage away.
Yeah.
And I should have brought, I have a voltage meter that you can literally hold, it shows your voltage, you put your other hand on that and it reads.
Just down. You guys don't know people that have excess voltage, do you?
Brody,
Yes.
one side effect I wasn't expecting. I have had spider veins in my legs since giving childbirth. And
It's your fault.
And my husband told me the spider veins in my legs went from an 8 to a 3.
Yeah, mine are better.
They're still going.
Oh wow.
He said it. I didn't even ask. He said, you know, I can't see them like I used to. I see you looking at my legs. So without asking, he said, yeah. He said, it's gone like from an 8 to a 3. And I went, wow.
Yep.
It does help.
Yeah. Have you have had a personal situation where an extra $500 in a month could make a difference?
Yes.
Have you had a personal situation where you would need an extra 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 a month? Ever had a kid go to college? Yeah. Have you know people that never have a chance to go on a vacation? Have you know people that aren't sure they're going to be able to retire? Okay. This is as much a gift in handing to people in that fashion, where they could have the freedom and flexibility of a multi-billion-dollar business without the headaches, huge tax write-offs. I get to go on this trip with my son right now. This is the third child I brought out this neck of the woods. Well, there's one more to go. But we get to go do some really fun things. But I'm doing business on the way, right? But now the hotels are all tax deductible, and the food is all tax deductible, and the airplane's all tax deductible, and I mean, who here would like their phone to be tax deductible? Would you like your phone to be tax deductible?
Yes.
Would you like your home computer to be tax deductible? Your office computer to be tax deductible?
Yes.
How would you like to have a room of your house to be tax deductible, or multiple rooms of your house that you use for business purposes to be tax deductible? How you would like the driving that you do to become tax deductible? Would those be good things?
Yes.
Huge. For the tax deductions alone, doing a business with this can be a big deal. So, many reasons people look at this and choose to do something. Whatever your reason is, we are happy to help you. If you just want to get your big toe feeling better, or if you want to make a big splash and impact in the world. So with that, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think you guys have another event coming up here for people that want to.
No, we have to clean up because I have to go teach.
Right, no.
Oh, another event.
Yes.
Yes, we do on. We ask anybody who wants to come to sign up so we can send the details. We have to get some details worked out. Make sure you see it there?
Right here?
Yes.
Okay. So if anybody wants information on the coming event, which is either next week or the week after.
July 15th.
It is July 15th. Write your information down and you can get information.
And it will be here.
That. Okay.
And then Barb has one.
Yes.
Sandra and Al are doing one Saturday in Richmond.
In Richmond.
Barbara's whole team next Saturday. Saturday coming. Saturday this week.
Fantastic. So if you know people who are interested, grab these flyers, connect with these folks, and get some invitations out to plug into those things.
Can I take a
I just got some confirmation that some of you may have already. The first week of October is when the event in Toronto will be. The last week in October is when the event in
San Antonio.
San Antonio will be, or Austin.
San Antonio.
San Antonio. And then there's one if you have people that are in the Bay Area. The second weekend of September, Meej and Chong is putting together a major event that's out there. and then there'll be one in Utah in February. So those are big regional things to plug folks into. Thank you so much.
Thank you.